Welcome to ISE's Equity Index Weekly Outlook, a weekly outlook on ISE and other industry indexes, hosted by Patrick Ceresna, a derivative market specialist and investment manager with extensive expertise in options and the broader derivative markets. ISE trades options on more than 15 proprietary sector indexes, as well as broad-based indexes and a variety of licensed benchmarks. ISE continually enhances its trading systems and develops new index options products to provide investors with the best marketplace and investment tools to trade smarter.
Hello and welcome to the ISE Equity Index Outlook for August 8th, 2011. This is Patrick Ceresna. As always, we start off a chart of the S&P 500 using that SPDR exchange rate fund symbol SPY. We've had a test of the lows from November around that 117, 118 area in a very dramatic market crash decline. We're on top of that, the U.S. debt downgrade that occurred on the weekend has futures down over 20-30 points for Monday morning right off the bat. While there's certainly going to be a negative start, I would be very surprised if there wasn't some counter rally attempt this week, and it could be a very dramatic one. So if we see the supports in this 117, 118 area hold right off the bat Monday morning, or if we first have to make, let's say, a lower low down to the 114 or 112 area, by Tuesday or Wednesday, we should see some capitulation selling, which will bring buyers back in at some point, and will attempt to take it back up to some of its previous overhead resistance. If depending on the magnitude of the selling, if we are contained only to this 117, 118 area, then a counter rally that lasts a week or two into expiration could go as high as the 126, 127 area. But in the same regard, if we first sell much harder down to, let's say, the 112 area, then we would be looking for bounces to only make it back to the 122, 123. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE US Regional Banks Index, which is a symbol JLO. Once that 2250 area gave out on the downside, the regional banks have been free falling and have now exceeded all their lows that they've put in the September to November period. Really, at this stage, depending on how we start off in the markets here, we'll be watching the 20 level, and if not, then we could find support all the way down at the 1850 to 19 area on the downside. We will be looking for sometime this week a big reversal bounce, but it doesn't mean that it can't get far worse on the short term than better. But we probably at some point this week we will see some big green reversal candle off of where those short-term lows come in. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE Syndex, which is a symbol SIN. This is an index of all the casino, tobacco, and distiller companies. And essentially, again, the same dramatic sell-off that we've seen in all stocks and all markets. And we saw it now come into that 120, 122 focal point down below. At this stage, that we expect that support line to hold. But again, if we see 1 or 2 days of very aggressive selling early this week, before the bounce occurs, we may still see a temporary trade even down to 115, but we do expect there to be a significant bounce in this week. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE Home Builders Index, which is a symbol RUF, and we're at a critical level at this 7,720 area, as below the $7 support really is no man's land, and it's really hard to gauge a support resistance level down below. Maybe there could be something that comes in around the 6 to 6.25 area, but at this juncture, we're looking just to see whether the 7,720 area holds. Hopefully, the support line does dig in and hold, and we get a good bounce up towards the $8 area on the upside. But again, that bounce may not come in until later in the middle of the week. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE Natural Gas Index, which is a symbol FUM, and the Natural Gas Index also was looking extremely bullish, and then just as the whole stock market started to cave in, this with all indices had very sharp reversals and subsequent breakdowns. At this stage, we found support along the 113, 115 area where the November-December highs and lows were all occurring. This would be a logical place to have a short-term bounce, but again, very short-term sell-off could see the 105, 107 level on the downside, and then a bounce from there. Depending on where the initial low goes will be measuring where the magnitude of the bounce back will be. If we bounce off this 113, 115 area, we might make it all the way back to 135 on a market bounce. But if we first sell off down to the 105 level on the natural gas index, then it may not, the bounce back may only occur back to about the 124 to 126 area on the upside. Finally, I want to take a look at the ISE Mini FTSE 100 Index, which is a symbol UKX. And once that 560 level gave out, the FTSE and the London market have just been in an absolute free fall. There is a support line coming in here at the 510, 520 area. We do anticipate it to be able to hold the market on the first bounce, but we'll find out once the markets open where the FTSE was trading during the European session. Once there is a market bounce, we could see it retest the 560 area on the upside, but again, the first part of Monday and Tuesday will be trying to see where the markets stabilize. That was your ISE Equity Index Outlook. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. For more information about Patrick Ceresna and to sign up for free index options trade alerts, visit www.optionsource.net. To learn more about ISE index options, visit us at www.ise.com/indexoptions.